promised, super excited to finally be able to share what's been on my mind. Um, all right, I know my volume is good. I'm all set. So listen, if you happen to be here with me live, right, do me a favor and let me know. Um, Say hey or something in the comments for me so that I know that you're here with me live. And if you catch the replay, do me a favor and type replay in the comments so that I know that you were here, and I'll come back through and show you some love. But listen, this has been rumbling in my soul for some time now, and it's all coming together, right? So I've been dropping subtle clues over the last few days, just kind of about this headspace that I'm in, and I'm so excited to share with you that um, I got something for you, right? And so before I tell you exactly what it is, let me tell you how I got to this point. So something I've been noticing about my fellow go-getters over the last several months, but definitely the last like month and a half coming into the new year. There's of course the typical new year, new you, steam, goals, resolutions, all of the things that you said that you're going to do in 2022. 2022 is going to be your year. Yet and again, right? Yet and still, same thing for 2021. It's probably the same thing for 2020, so on and so forth. But one thing that I know is that you're likely in a space where your goals are starting to eat away at you, right? And so here we are in 2022, we're a month and a half in, and those same goals that you've been dreaming and talking about, and at some point probably losing sleep about too because you haven't made any traction, it's starting to eat you alive, right? And what I also know is that because you're not seeing the results that you want to see in the places that you want to see them, you're starting to feel stuck, or you may have been feeling stuck, right? And you know that this thing or these ideas or these goals or these aspirations are your way out, but you're so frustrated, you're so overwhelmed with like even where to start because the ideas don't stop, right? But then yet you're still stuck. You're still where you really don't want to be any longer. You're still showing up in places and spaces and relationships that no longer serve you. So I'm witnessing it, I'm supporting clients through it, but I'm seeing it come up as a pattern and a theme, especially at the top of the year, right? And listen, don't show me a problem because I'm going to solve it. Okay. I listen, that's the math major in me. That's the IT part of me. That's the project manager in me. It's the business analyst in me, right? The analyst in me. Like, show me a problem, I'm gonna give you a solution. And so, because I am a go-getter, and because I serve go-getters and I serve them at a high level, I understand the inner workings. I understand the things that are going, the bombs that are going off in your mind. I understand the things that are happening heart-wise. I understand how you're losing steam when it comes to this thing called life, and you're getting to a place of feeling like, well, maybe this is it for me. Maybe this is all I'm going to be doing. This is all that I'm going to accomplish or aspire to. But I'm here to bust that bubble and say, no, it's not. Right? If you have the vision, there is something out there for you, right? That you are supposed to go and do and accomplish in alignment with your purpose assignment. Like you are here for a reason. And I'm here to tell you that if you have any ounce of desire to experience life differently from what you're seeing it now, you absolutely can. So whatever you've been telling yourself about it's not possible for you, or it's that experience is for other people, it's not. It's not. But one thing I need you to know is that you don't need permission from anybody else to get up and go get what's yours. You don't need validation from anybody else to get up and go get what's yours. And although you don't need the permission or validation, I'm gonna give it to you right now, because maybe you're not in a space where you're supported or have the relationships with people who understand where you're trying to go, understand your big, bold, scary, hairy, daunting vision that you have for your life. And maybe they just don't get it because it's not for them to get, and that's okay. But the thing that you need to do is position yourself and situate yourself in spaces where people do get it and can support you in ways that you need to be supported and hold you accountable in ways that you need to be held accountable, probably in the same ways that you as a go-getter hold other people accountable. Who's doing that for you, right? Listen, if I'm on your pew, ask me how I know because I get it, right? So now let's get back to what I was saying about being at the top of the year and having goals and all of the things, right? So I talked to one person enough that kind of like tipped me over, and I said, okay, there's something happening here, and let's course correct now at the top of the year, right? There's something that we can do about this. And let me tell you how interesting like purpose is, right? And how God moves in my life. So I made a decision that after January, I was putting my shift experience on the shelf for selfish reasons, right? Nothing wrong with it. People get results, right? People love it when they come through it. But it was for selfish reasons. Me being a go-getter, I was like, oh, I'll find something else to do, something else to offer, right? And so then after having this one last conversation with someone that kind of broke the camel's back, and I was like, okay, all right, God, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Like, it's not time to put that on the shelf. Like, you didn't tell me to put that on the shelf. I made a decision to put it on the shelf. So, with all that said, the shift experience is back, right? That is my announcement. The shift experience is back and it's going to be better than ever. And what I'm most excited about is the fact that we're on the brink of like March Madness. And a little bit about me, if you don't know, um, I love basketball. I played basketball up and through most of high school. And I've always had a fascination and a love for the game. And so for me, knowing that March Madness is coming, I've decided to kind of fuse a little bit of that type of essence into what this next round of the shift experience is going to look like, right? So if you know anything about March Madness and the NCAA tournament, you have the Sweet 16, the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and then you get down to the championship game, and then you have a champion, right? So for this shift experience, I am only opening up 16 spots to go on this journey, to get unstuck, to move out of the space of feeling unfulfilled, to light a fire up under you to go get what it is that your heart desires, that your soul desires, and that what you absolutely deserve, right? This life is meant to be lived. This life is meant to be enjoyed. And this is why I'm super excited to be fusing, like the basketball thing into it. Because it's something that makes my heart smile and I get to do it in service of go-getters just like you, right? So I created the shift experience. Shoot, it might have been about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, right? Because I understood that my go-getters, a lot of times the things that keep us stuck is not having clarity, right? So there's the clarity piece, there's the confidence to do something about the newfound clarity that you have about what's next for you. And then there's this piece about like balancing all of the things. Like when you move your own cheese, you're going to knock some things out of whack, right? And like life is going to happen. And so there's this balancing act and this calibration act that you got to do when you make some type of intentional shift in your life. So understanding like the cycle, right? The clarity, then the confidence to do something about it, right? And then like the balancing act and being supported and accountable to stick to it even when life happens and the going gets rough. It's a cycle. It can feel like a vicious cycle, but it doesn't have to be if you have the right support and accountability in tow, right? So on the front end of it, let's just talk about the clarity piece, right? I created the shift experience to help my go-getters get clear on what's next for them, to get clear on who you need to be in this next season to step into the next most powerful version of yourself, right? You are going places, you've been going places, but you've just gotten complacent. That's all. That's the only reason why things aren't moving is because you've gotten complacent. And for a while, it was okay because everything felt good. You didn't have any worries. Nobody was getting on your nerves. All of the things were working well until one day they were not. And that's when the rubber hit the road, right? And then you just wake up and you have this moment of awakening and you're like, who am I? How did I get here? And what's the quickest way out? Like you probably are saying you hate it here, right? Wherever you are. You could be in the midst of a midlife crisis. And I'm gonna say midlife because if you're anything like me, you're PYT. But I digress. So you could be in the middle of a midlife crisis. You could be in the middle of a mid-career crisis, right? And you're just like, I spent all this time putting in all this work to get here in wherever here is, personally or professionally, and you feel like everything is crumbling up underneath you, right? And I want to encourage you that instead of looking at the glass half empty, look at your glass as half full. This is an indicator that it's time for you to shift. What previously served you is no longer serving you, right? And there is some breaking up of things that you have to do, people, places, things, mindsets, ideals, all of the things, right? There is some shifting that has to happen in order for you to move powerfully into what's next for you. But let me also be honest with you. You can stay there and be miserable and uncomfortable for the rest of your life if you want to. This is a choice that you're going to have to make about whether or not you are going to be courageous enough to admit that it's going to take doing something different to get different results and that you need some outside assistance. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're meant to do life together, right? And if you could figure it out by yourself, guess what? You would have figured it out by yourself already. But here we are, right? And thankfully, here I am at the ready to serve and support you and invite you to be one of the 16 that moves forward to the next round of working with me, right? In the shift experience. I should say in the first round of working with me in the shift experience, right? And so I want to encourage you, if you are a career professional, you may have almost two decades of career professional experience, right? And you're like, I went to school, I put in all these years, I devoted all of this time to develop this expertise, but I don't like it here anymore. Like it's no longer serving me. I'm not fulfilled. I don't love what I do. I don't love who I do it for. And I feel like there's something internally that's calling me, nagging at me, and nudging me and pulling me in a different direction. And it's probably scaring you, right? Because this is not something that you know. This is something different. There's a certain level of security, even though you're unfulfilled where you are, right? I get it. But there's something that is pulling you and tugging at you to push you in a different direction, and you are resisting it because you don't have clarity about what it is that you should be doing, or what it is that you truly want to do. You just know that there's something outside of the space that you're currently taking up in the places where you're taking up the space right now, right? There's something tugging at you. If you have even verbalized, right, that you feel stuck in life, right? You're just not happy. If you feel like your life is out of control, the shift experience is for you. It is time for you to take back the reins over your life because we only get one, right? And to then and create it and curate it in a way that makes your not just your heart smile, but your soul smile. It's time. It's time. You've done the work, you've been on the grind, you've hustled, and it's paid off. You're making great money. You're doing work that you once loved, but you've fallen out of love with it. And it's okay. Let me just say that it's okay, but what's not okay is for you to stay in this space of unfulfillment and complacency, because either you feel like you don't have the support or you don't have the clarity. The shift experience is for you. If you know that there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing, but it's just that you don't have the clarity on how to shift out of where you are into where you really want to be, this is for you. If purpose is important for you, right? And you're a go-getter and you absolutely want to monetize your purpose, the shift experience is for you. And here's the kicker. This phrase has become really commonplace over the last several years. But if you are suffering from imposter syndrome and you know it, your inner imposter has its way with you, and you're tired of succumbing to your inner imposter because you know you know that it's an imposter. You know what it is, but it's been winning at this game called life up until now. If you're ready to like do something about it, the shift experience is for you. You could also be a high achieving entrepreneur, right? A career professional too. Either one, entrepreneur or career professional. And you you ultimately are desiring to make some type of leap. So it could be the leap from being a 9 to 5 career professional to full time entrepreneurship. It could be if you're already a full time entrepreneur, you're looking to um, make the leap into like leadership in your business. Like you may be scaling and bringing on people. And like there's some things that are going to have to shift in you in order for you to show up powerfully and run your empire and your enterprise powerfully. This is for you, right? If you know that something's got to give, and you may have even said those words yourself, you know that something's got to shift, this is for you. So let me tell you what you can expect the shift experience. It's a 3 hour intensive, right? And we peel back the layers, and you're gonna roll up your sleeves and you're gonna do some work. I promise it's not backbreaking work, but you're gonna dig deep and you are going to get clear on some things about who you are and what it's gonna take for you to show up as powerfully as possible in this next season of your life, right? You're gonna walk away with strategy to get you unstuck in position to shift into the life of your wildest dreams. You're going to walk away with strategy to overcome barriers that have been in the way of your leap up until now. And what you also get as a bonus is access to my secret weapon that I use with every single last one of my clients. Like it is a non negotiable, but it's absolutely my secret weapon in helping them get out of their heads and into action in a way that leverages their unique superpower, all in alignment with their purpose, right? So, my invitation to you is to join me and 16 others, be one of the 16 that advance to the next round of working with me in this upcoming shift experience. This one is will be the most unique of all of them that I have delivered so far. And what I love is that I've had clients come back and participate. They come back and do the shift experience. They work with me, for 90 days or more and have come back and participate in the shift experience. So that lets me know that it's as powerful as I knew it would be before I did it the first time. And as powerful as I witnessed it being as the participants, as I usher them through the experience, right? So again, if you are a high achieving career professional, high achieving, you could be full time entrepreneur, you could be a straddler, you are balancing a business as well as juggling the 9 to 5, right? And you know that something's got to give because life as is not serving you well, right? You're not enjoying it, and life is to be enjoyed. There's things that we got to do, there's assignments and there's work, but it should not be a burden. And if you know you're having a hard time relinquishing some things, shedding some things, or even just being in a space where you feel comfortable thinking big, dreaming big, and going after it unapologetically, listen, I created this for you. Okay. Um, what else do I want you to know? So I've told you how I have this love affair with like basketball and how I'm kind of doing my own twist on, um, March Madness and kind of like incorporating that into this shift experience, right? So what happens when you lock in right now at the time of this recording? You can opt in and get a seat, secure your seat for $297. The shift experience is $497 at full price. If you use code GUTCHECK, GUTCHECK at checkout, it knocks $200 off, and you can get a seat for $297. And I want to express this to you, right? I know a lot of times, especially those my go-getters who are still career professionals, right? A lot of times, and I say we because I was once a career professional as well, we depend on our jobs to pay for training and personal development and all of the things, right? Like if the job ain't paying for it, I'm not going. That's a part of the problem. That's a part of the problem, right? You're giving someone else control over whether or not you get the support and the development that you need. Your job may pay for personal development, and they could actually pay for this if your job affords you that, right? But let's say your job doesn't. When is the last time you invested in yourself, right? When is the last time you did something for you that was out of the box that you know you needed to do, right? And you went for it. When is the last time? And if that's a habit of yours, then you already know you're in the right space and right place, right? But if for whatever reason you let the investment when it comes to personal or professional development trip you up, I want to challenge you on that, right? If you want something different, you got to do something different. And when you step into spaces that I create, you don't step out of them the same. You just don't. I have conversations with people, and I say one thing to them, and it unlocks something for them. It changes their life. Imagine spending 3 hours with me in a space created to curate the next most powerful version of you, in a space that's meant to water the seed that's already been planted about the next the life of your wildest dreams. Imagine. Just imagine, right? Just imagine. And so before March 2nd comes, so I think I said that, and if not, the next experience is going to be on um, Wednesday, March 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern, right? What I will tell you is that the gut check code is good for now, but before March 2nd, the price is going up. It will ultimately get back up to 497. And I won't be telling you when, because I don't want you to put off the inevitable, right? And because I won't be telling you when, if you know this is for you, pull out your card and do what you got to do and secure your seat. Okay? Like, let's go. We're just over the first half of the first quarter in the year, right? And I was talking about what I was doing with one of my mentors, and she said, "Well, why do you care about first quarter or quarters of the year if a lot of people that are that you work with, they still are working 9 to 5s?" I said, because it's yet and still another year that has come and is slowly going by, and there are goals that are still on the shelf collecting dust, and it's eating away at my people. And I got to do something about it, right? I can't force you. I will never force you. You get to choose and you get to decide. But the thing about this is, when you choose you, when you make a decision, listen, that's where the game changes. I've had people come into the shift experience and walk away, and they hit me up days or a couple weeks later and like, "Hey, listen, I got 3 new clients after coming through the experience. It was what I needed. Hey, I got a new job. Hey, this explains so much about how I show up in the world and what I'm going to change or what I'm not going to change, because this validates me and lets me know that this is who I am, and I'm unapologetic about it," right? It's an experience, and you do not leave the same way you came in. And if you do, it's because you weren't present and you weren't focused and you weren't paying attention and you weren't doing the work. But you're a go-getter, and I know that that's not your jam, so that wouldn't be your issue in the first place, right? I'm unapologetic about placing emphasis on the first quarter because I understand how we start is how we finish, right? Or so we think. You get to choose, right? You could make the decision now to give yourself grace about what you haven't been able to do over the last couple of months, what you haven't been able to do over the last several years, right? You've been beating yourself up. I invite you to no longer hold yourself hostage around what you haven't been able to accomplish up until now. Grace. You got to give yourself some grace. Okay. So my question for you is not about how long it's been, right? But what are you going to do about it? How much longer are you going to sing that song? How much longer are you going to tap dance around the vision, right? Uh, are you going to go get it out of the trash because you threw the vision away because you just gave up on it, right? Like it's go time. Here we are, just a little bit over the first half of Q1. You got time. And I am committed to supporting you and making whatever shift is necessary now so that you can end Q1, listen, in a way that you haven't ended a year, a month, a quarter, or whatever other time frame you want to add in there, like for a long time, right? It starts now. So my invitation for you is to join me on Wednesday, March 2nd at 6 p.m. for the next shift experience. I've taken it off the shelf. I let my list know back in January that that was going to be the last one until further notice. I had no idea it would only be 2 short months later that I would be bringing it back. But here we are. Here we are. So I see a question. What if you're not a high earning executive or entrepreneur? You don't have to be, right? But if what I'm saying speaks to you, if if you feel like you need to be here, then you need to be here. You're absolutely welcome to join, right? But if you know something needs to shift, if you're ready and you're willing to do the work and invest in you, finally, let's rock. The link is in the description, and I'll go back and put it also in the comments, right? I'm not sure where you're watching this because I got comments coming in. But that's a great question. I can't see your name, but I absolutely can see your question. So thank you for asking that. But I invite you to be one of the 16. And this is going to be like tournament style in my own way. So you be one of the 16, then that allows you an image to be one of the 8 who get to move on to work with me in a very unique capacity that only the 16 will hear about. Okay. Um, if you know this is for you, click the link, and I'll also just say it here. It's www.daniellethecoach.com/shift. And for a short while, you'll be able to use code GUTCHECK, GUTCHECK at checkout, and it'll knock $200 off, so you get a seat for $297. And again, the price will go up to $497 before the event takes place. I will not be sharing when it's going to go up. I don't want you to delay the inevitable. Like, what if you were to just lock in and know, okay, bet I did it, I'm in. I'm not even thinking twice about it. I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to go for it, and I'm going to trust, right? There's something about what she's saying. There's something about the testimonials that I've seen. Like, there's something about her or something about this experience that is calling and speaking to my soul. So I'm just going to dive in head first, and I'm just going to trust by faith. If you're feeling that, lean into it. Don't put off the inevitable, because what'll happen is one day it'll turn into 3, and before you know it, it'll be March 2nd, and me and your fellow go-getters will be in there doing the work, and the shift will be happening, and you'll still be dreaming and thinking and praying about it or beating yourself up about it. So that's how you get in. I'm super, super, super excited to be bringing this back and to kind of have this new like energy about it. Like the tournament excites me, basketball excites me, all of the things. So this is the official tip off. We had my pregame announcement last night. So if you saw that, my list has been put on notice, so you may be watching because you saw the alert on my list. If so, thank you for watching. If you happen to catch the replay, do me a favor and type #replay. But if you know this is for you, go ahead and lock in. Listen, 2022 can be your year if you do something about it. Like, nope, Arsha Jones said it best. Nobody's coming to save you. But what I am committing to do is I'm willing to meet you where you are. When you say yes to you, I got you. I absolutely got you. If you know somebody that needs to be in the room themselves or with you, feel free to share this with them, tag them under this video wherever you are watching this. The more the merrier. Like, share the wealth for sure. I absolutely invite that. If you have any questions, uh, leave them in the comments and I'll come back through and square you away. But all the information you need is on the end with what you just heard. And if you're catching me on the tail end of this video, I want to invite you to go back and watch it from the beginning so you can hear what I had to share. And so you can be one of the 16, right? I'm only taking 16 this round. And we're going to have some fun. I'm shaking things up a bit. All right. I will